Okay, so you're looking to level up your career in safety. You've probably heard about the OSHA 30, right? But then comes the big question. Do you go for the construction certification or the one for general industry? Believe me, it's a choice that can really make or break your next move. So today, we're going to break down exactly what the pros in the field say is the right call.
So let's picture it. Maybe you just got laid off, or maybe you're just ready for that next big step, you know? You know a certification is your ticket to a better role, a safety manager job, something with some real responsibility. You've got the experience for sure, but you just need that piece of paper to prove it.
And that's where the confusion kicks in. You've got two OSHA 30 cards, and they represent two totally different worlds. One path takes you to active construction sites, the other leads you into factories and warehouses. And let's be real, making the wrong choice here could cost you some serious time and money.
And I'm not exaggerating here. According to the people who actually do the hiring for these jobs, one of these certifications is in constant demand. The other, well, it's often seen as less essential. So, the big question is, which one is the actual key that unlocks those doors?
Okay, first things first. Let's get really clear on what the OSHA 30 even is. This isn't just another run-of-the-mill safety course. It's designed for a pretty specific leadership role in the workplace.
And this really is the most fundamental question, right? A ton of people get OSHA 10 and OSHA 30 mixed up, but their purpose is completely different. Think of it this way. One is for the crew, and the other is for the person in charge of that crew.
Yeah, it's a pretty simple distinction when you break it down. OSHA 10, that's all about giving workers the baseline knowledge, their rights. But OSHA 30, on the other hand, that's specifically designed to train supervisors, managers, foremen, basically anyone responsible for how to maintain compliance. It's really that first major step into a safety leadership role.
All right, so you're ready for that leadership role? Awesome. But now you got to decide where you want to lead, because your choice is going to throw you into one of two very, very different work environments. So on one side, you've got the super dynamic, always changing world of construction. We're talking job sites, new builds, bridges, roads, all that stuff. And on the other side, you have the much more controlled environments of general industry. Think manufacturing plants, warehouses, hospitals, heck, even retail. You really have to ask yourself, where do you see your career?
Okay, let's dive into general industry first. What would you actually be learning in this course? Well, its whole focus is on the kinds of hazards you'd find inside a building, around established processes and heavy machinery.
So the curriculum's going to cover topics like machine guarding for all that factory equipment, ergonomics, which is all about preventing those repetitive stress injuries, and of course, the proper way to handle hazardous materials. It's really all about managing risks in a structured, indoor environment. All right, now let's completely switch gears and talk about the world of construction. And trust me, this is a whole different ballgame. The environment is constantly in flux, and the hazards, well, they're often way more immediate and severe. And the training, it absolutely reflects that intensity.
The curriculum here is laser-focused on what a lot of safety pros call the Focus 4 hazards. There's a heavy emphasis on the things that can go catastrophically wrong on an active build site. Yeah, we're talking about fall protection, safe scaffolding, trenching and excavation safety, the real high-risk stuff.
And there's a huge reason for that heavy emphasis. Falls. Falls are by a long shot the #1 killer on construction sites. That one single fact dictates so much of the safety protocol you learn, and it's exactly why the Construction 30 certification gets so incredibly detailed on this topic.
So, just to give you a taste of how specific this training can get, let's just look at a simple ratio, 4-to-1. What in the world could that mean? Well, it's a hard and fast rule that can literally be the difference between a stable platform and a deadly tip-over.
This is the famous 4-to-1 rule for rolling scaffolds. It means if your scaffold space is, say, 3 feet wide, it absolutely cannot be more than 12 feet tall without extra support. Simple as that. This is the kind of tangible, non-negotiable rule you master in the construction course. It's all about applying these very specific rules to constantly changing situations. Okay, so we've looked at the curriculum for both, right? We get the different environments, but theory is one thing, and the job market is something else entirely. So what do the people actually hiring for these jobs and working in them have to say about all this? This is the big question, isn't it? The one that started this whole thing. After all the studying, which card is actually going to open doors for you? Well, the answer from the professionals out there is surprisingly direct, and it's pretty much unanimous.
I mean, you really can't get much clearer than that. And get this,
This is coming from a guy who works in general industry. Even he admits that the construction card holds more weight in the job market. It's just the one employers are looking for.
And here's a big reason why. A lot of the large general industry companies, they have their own super detailed internal safety management systems that often go way beyond basic OSHA standards. So to them, the OSHA 30 can seem, well, basic, sometimes even remedial. It's just not seen as a major qualification for a serious safety pro.
And if that's not enough, here's the market reality coming straight from an authorized OSHA trainer. This person is qualified to teach both courses, but the demand is completely on one side. The market is basically voted with its wallet and is overwhelmingly chosen construction.
So the verdict is pretty clear. Construction 30 is the way to go. But, and this is a big but, getting that card is not the end of your journey. Not by a long shot. In the world of real safety professionals, it's just the beginning.
The pros are crystal clear about this. The OSHA 30 is a fantastic foundation, especially for supervisors. But if you're really serious about a long-term career as a dedicated environmental, health, and safety professional, you gotta aim higher.
So here's the roadmap, the game plan. Step 1, get your OSHA 30 for construction. That gets your foot in the door and teaches you the responsibilities of being a supervisor. Step 2, go get real-world, hands-on experience. Then, after that, the real goal is to go after the advanced certifications from the Board of Certified Safety Professionals. We're talking about things like the CHST, the ASP, or the absolute gold standard, the CSP. Those are the credentials that truly make heads turn.
So the path forward is pretty clear, isn't it? When it comes to construction versus general industry, it's not much of a choice at all if what you're looking for is maximum career impact. The only question left is, are you ready to build your foundation?